YouTube, Ronin Kaze. Second time through. I don't know what happened. Please like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Buy me a cup of coffee if you want. Hey, I'm doing Legendary Tidal Basin. This is our second run through. We wiped. We're near the end. This is the time right before the very end. It's been a great group. Got two really hardcore DPS. We have a dedicated healer, and you got me, glue guy. The build I'm running right now is my legendary jammer build. It's a build that has 3 improvised gears with the 12% reduction to yellow damage. And my other 3 pieces, I have the 12% reduction, and then I'm running survival. So my electronics isn't as great, but it gives me 10% more, so I got 80% reduction to yellow. So it helps me stay alive with yellows. And I'm still jamming. And right now I got a shock track, but I'm going to switch to the decoy when we get to the next part. Let me give you an update on what my Linux situation is. So I started this game on Legion Go. Sometimes it will not let me fire up OBS, which is what I use to record, until after. You have to start it the other way. For some reason, maybe it takes too much memory. So normally when I record the division on that, I use we used to use the Windows recorder. I don't have Windows on it anymore, so I use OBS. The OBS plus the division on that, I got a memory error and I crashed to desktop. So I switched to my other Linux situation, and that's working fine. Still trying to get the Mac working. Probably got to get better acquainted with Wine. Crossover really uses a standardized version of Wine. It has some other tricks kind of that it does. You know, you get spoiled using Steam because it has those Proton, and that stuff just seems to work. You just pick one till you get it working. I also today tried to fix my Asus Flow X16. When I boot it up, it'll pop on, go up to like 99 degrees, and then settle at 93. If I try to do anything that involves the hard drive, it heats up and it will shut itself down eventually. So I got it. It was kind of cool for a while. It would run Windows, but then it's got to recover. It doesn't see my network. The Asus utility sees my network, my Wi-Fi, but Windows doesn't, even when I type in the password. So it was just a frustrating day trying to do that, but I think it needs to be repasted. Unfortunately, Ronin Kaze is not a big paster, so I got to get someone to do that for me. So now I'm looking for vendors that can help with that. I think you're going to see me switch when I get up into the building here. Again, it's been a great group. We pushed pretty hard in this group, so after the first group got through and we wiped, we had pushed pretty far. We slowed down a little bit, but there was this section before, you know, you attack to get on the hovercraft. That section before then, we pushed all the way to the door. It was crazy, but that worked really well. So I think people are getting better equipped in the game, better strategies, so it's pretty easy. And then it's not. Sometimes I'm in a group when we just wipe and it's like, what are we doing here? So I have switched into my, and I'm going to pulse here because there's a laser out here, and that's what the pulse is good for. And I'll take that laser offline, let us run out there. Then I'll throw my decoy out there. And so this is the first generator that you killed to shut down the laser. Then there's one over in the middle. Kind of, it's like a it's like a baseball diamond. This is third base. For those that know American baseball, this is third base. Then you go to second base, then the first base. I think the idea is it's a little easier to go, like that guy's going down there to do that. I'm going to jam and knock that laser. You can see the laser coming up a little bit, and I just pulsed it, and I'll throw the decoy out there. So I had a little snafu with that, trying to get the Mac to run. That computer, the Asus Flow X, is it's a 690HX, and it has a GTX 3060 or something like that. So it's got a lot of horsepower. Problem is, it's overheating now. And that kind of goes against my kind of, I'm trying to get the lowest possible power that will run. Ideally with the Extreme, probably if I could buy the next Legion Go, it's going to be too much money. I'm not going to spend $1,300 on that. But I like the concept with enough memory, right, that you can put, ideally, let's say you had 64 gigs of memory and you had one of these AMD AI cards. What you'd find is, or AI cards, AI mini PCs, is that you would just split the 32 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of VRAM, and it'd be just awesome. At this point, the speed I have on the iPad Pro is just fantastic for making the videos. And the cost of it, right? The cost of it, I think LumaFusion was $19, and then the M4 iPad, or when I had an M1, it was still fast. And that's really, it's a lot easier. It feels intuitive to me. I tried to, there's a thing called Kdenlive on Linux. I was going to start doing that, but right, I'm so used to the touch interface. I go in and out of things, so I have a nice setup right now for that. But the only thing is really the gaming, right? The Mac isn't the greatest for gaming. So the other thing that happened in the last video, I just kept talking. I was going over what you do each step of this. And I was talking about, playing different games and, getting a different game out there. I used to play Red Alert, real-time strategy games. Like when I first started gaming, when I got in PC gaming, I really liked Red Alert. It was a good game. You could make a base, and the base was, you might get Tesla coils or something on it, and nothing could get in the base. A game like Warcraft, when I played that real-time strategy game, there was nothing you could do to make your base impenetrable, like they were going to come in. So you had to think a little bit differently and play it a little bit different. So I was going to run and do that. And of course, I'd like to, there's not a whole lot of brand new real-time strategy games MMO RPGs that are coming out. I might do something on one of my tablets and then turn it into, ideally what I'd love to do is this. I'd love to do everything on a tablet and then show you, from soup to nuts. Like here's what it takes to make a video. Although really importing the video is probably the easiest part of the whole process, right? So who cares where you make the game at? But that's kind of my thing, lower power stuff. So maybe a game using a tablet would be good. I have a Lenovo tablet as well. It's just Asus, the power on it. And so legendaries are pretty easy if you have the build set up for them. There's time on my main character. I have so many niche builds that I will change build on each section for what the group needs. I guess that can be disconcerting sometimes because they might be expecting me to do something. And really, I feel that most if I'm doing healing, because people might go out of cover if they're getting healed all the time. On the refractor build, they're always getting healing back. So they might do that in that case. But other than that, you can switch around. You can pretty much, in a pickup group or a pug, you can do whatever you want within reason. So just looking what's next. What other things might be interesting. On that Asus Flow X, I couldn't even, it overheats so much that I can't even get it to run Linux, to put Linux on it, right? It just, out of the BIOS, it's already running hot. So I got an issue there for sure. And again, with this build, when you have something like this, you're tossing a decoy out. My decoy is like level 30. My pulse is level 30. So on the pulse, when it's level 30, that increases its range. On the decoy, it increases the strength of it. And then I'll use what I found, I don't know if this is a fact, what I found is when I use like one of those technology increasing, like, you know, test subject gives you 20%, and the exotic gun will give you like 40% based off how many people or how many consecutive hits you had, or however many hits you get. If you get up to 40%. The point is, I found that makes the decoy even stronger. So that's, I think that works that way. But as long as I'm doing the division, there's Roxy. It's, again, pretty easy to pick up. If you can handle one, you're either a DPS or you're maybe some type of heals, or you're going to be, you know, you got to bring some value into the group. And the Vial Jammer build always gives you value because you're knocking down electronics and you're putting a dot on everything. It's just great. But I've shown you that build a million times. I do these legendaries because you can do them. I think I told the story a long time ago. I used to do, you know, I was with a group of people. I really enjoyed playing with them, but we wouldn't do legendaries because everyone was really nervous. These guys were super great builds. They just weren't confident. They were older than me, and I'm an old codger. But we eventually would do some of that stuff. Now one of the guys, he posts all the time, and he's always doing 2-manning legendaries. He's got great, crazy tank builds, so that would be fun, playing with him again. And probably I will do a video where I show you how I make everything, because it's pretty easy to record on the iPad, to record everything I'm doing. And what I'm always looking for is, in every game I'm playing, I'm looking for some type of thing I can take a screenshot of or a screen capture, and then I don't do a lot. I use some filters on it, and then I'll put it together to try to make like the thumbnail for the video. So I think that's kind of interesting. You see it once, it's probably okay. It's probably enough. So YouTube, this is Ronin Kaze. Last time I did the video, I just kept talking. I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, resubscribe if you'd like. Please, if you feel like you want to help me out. If you could buy me a cup of coffee, I'd appreciate it, or an energy drink or what have you. Again, this is Ronin Kaze. Have a great day. Thanks. Out.